Good evening, and welcome to the Daily News Roundup with Daily Mirror Online. You're with me, Nicholas Manuel. Let's take a look at our headlines. Flights to operate from the Ratmalana Airport to regional destinations. Inbound flights to be limited to one per day. A slipway is to be set up in Beruala to launch large-scale vessels. The Peradeniya Engineering faculty declared out of bounds for second-year students. An accident in Avissawella leaves 3 dead. The sale of singular cigarettes is to be banned. Officials are to complete the national program to develop 100,000 kilometers of roads by 2024. A urine test to be mandatory for heavy vehicle or commercial vehicle driving licenses. The committee studying the 20th Amendment hands over the report to the Prime Minister. The 20th Amendment is not to be redrafted. Now, diving into these stories in detail. Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga informed that the Ratmalana Airport will be used for flight operations with the Maldives and some destinations in the southern parts of India. He announced that talks have been conducted with Maldivian Air and Villa Air for possible flight operations. 75 flights are operated a day, and cabinet approval has been obtained for international flight operations. The cabinet has also approved concessionary refueling charges for airlines using the airport, in addition to the 50% waiver of the disembarkation fee. The government is considering limiting the number of flights arriving in Sri Lanka to 1 a day as more and more arrivals test positive for coronavirus. The army commander stated that the Sri Lankans overseas will also be informed that with more and more arrivals being detected with the virus, certain limitations on arrivals will likely be enforced. He informed that it is the responsibility of the Sri Lankan authorities to ensure that coronavirus is kept out of Sri Lanka. On Sunday, 39 arrivals tested positive for the virus in Sri Lanka, while on Monday, 26 returnees were detected with the virus. The President's Media Division informed that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has given the approval to set up a slipway in Beruala to launch large-scale vessels. Approval was given at a meeting held to discuss the future plans of the State Ministry of Warehouse Facilities, Container Yards, Port Supply Facilities, and Boats and Shipping Industry Development at the Presidential Secretariat on Tuesday. Speaking at the meeting, President Rajapaksa stated that Sri Lanka can be made one of the main maritime hubs due to its strategic location. A university official informed that the engineering faculty campus of the Peradeniya University had been declared out of bounds for second-year students over several complaints received regarding ragging. However, the faculty will remain open for other students. The dean of the faculty had reportedly received a number of complaints over excessive ragging. 3 people were killed when a lorry collided with a 3-wheeler in Dirumpitiya, Avissawella early this morning. Police stated that the deceased, aged 48, 53, and 57, are residents of Mandawala. The driver of the lorry has been arrested in connection with the accident. Regulations are being prepared to ban the sale of single cigarettes, which have been identified as the gateway to other narcotic drugs. National Authority on Tobacco and Alcohol Chairman Dr. Samadhi Rajapaksha told Daily Mirror that the necessary laws would be enforced as soon as possible. Vendors are only allowed to sell cigarette packets containing at least 20 sticks. The previous government also made efforts to implement the ban on the sale of single cigarettes, though it was not effectively implemented. The President's Media Division announced that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed officials to complete the national program to develop 100,000 kilometers of roads by 2024. Speaking at a meeting held at the Presidential Secretariat to discuss the future plans of the State Ministry of Rural Roads and Other Infrastructure Development, President Rajapaksa yesterday stated that each citizen has a right to easy and comfortable access to roads. He added that the program to develop roads should be done without harming the environment. State Minister for Transport, Dilum Amunagama, informed that a special urine test will be made mandatory for those who apply for heavy vehicle or commercial vehicle driving licenses to check whether they are users of alcoholic or non-alcoholic intoxicants. He announced that the new test would reveal whether the person had consumed any non-alcoholic intoxicants, not only at the time of the test, but during preceding months as well. Meanwhile, the state minister stated that the Transport Ministry would take measures to reduce the cost of obtaining heavy vehicle or commercial vehicle driving licenses. The report of the committee appointed by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa to study the 20th Amendment to the Constitution was handed over to the Prime Minister yesterday. The committee members have briefed the Premier on the facts that should be added anew to the 20th Amendment and what needed to be amended. The government will not redraft the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, but will instead incorporate any changes proposed by the 9-member committee only during the committee stage of the debate, a top source informed yesterday. The committee, which studied the 20th Amendment, submitted its report to Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa yesterday. The government has sought to enact the 20th Amendment primarily to roll back the 19th Amendment, empowering the President further. For further details on these stories, visit our website, www.dailymirror.lk. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Nicholas Manuel, and this was the Daily News Roundup.